Mam Online Radio.
Ebi sata media no obiya pre, obiya for the kunya, obiya kusoni TV, obiya chini phone.
We share live. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, Skype, and a Snapchat. Okoha no search Mam Online. Ubinyayen. So you busy na se upese utie and ewo wasumwa online radio. Coradio.net, Google Play Store, TuneIn Radio, Modern Ghana, Online Radio Box. Ne search Mam Radio 1. Mam Radio 1. Ubinyayen etie live.
Over to me after a wabra program no airport we be on tia se na ya kire mu anase bia wo atemi se bia na wa bisa ye.
Official studio line say 0246751175 or question B efadwumedia ye bedi ho a fafa so voice note text message and a voice call or video call or the buy ye betum wa ha.
Mam Online ene Samuel Methrin Foundation akabom she nkunafo enyanka ne ewusia emmoa ebetima fa yeso. We
have as sponsors to be Musa Phones at Edum Kumasi and Habitech Air Conditions and Engineering Works at Abawunima.
Saraka was put to so about Grunkiani, Grunkisim, so any Benamoso, so Emma.
Open your website now, mamghonline.org. mamghonline.org org ubenya yenso etie okwa right side don abu Mam Radio 1 odun sesi so a obu play abun se e stream kama kasa ye ka odem ha nyina no ubetimi enye bi etie in case wa mesi program bia nso so a ye de to playback na wanya bi etie afomu aba insha Allah. Mr. Se upesa sponsor program bia e wo fia ha je also ya ne se obe first studio lines 751175 0246751175 and 0200773367 obi bia o kasa wo fie mu ha bia o pesa o sponsor na efo dodo a betima sponsor no o kan na wa ye send videos na enko ba bia na yatini nyina. Some sponsor ya ni bi editor power, editor data, editor studio equipment.
Please let's go for a commercial break. When we are back, she'll take us through.
Wallahi, al-Jannatu Firdaus is our limit, inshallah. Amen.
Malama Rashidat Abdul Mumin, Malama Rahmat Swala, Malama Mardia Mustafa, Ewo Ideal Muslim Show, Kwesiede Bia, Anopa Nondu, Ewo Mam Online, Radio and TV, Inshallah.
Wallahi, al-Jannah Firdaus, inshallah. Amen.
Assalamu alaikum. It's another edition of Ideal Muslim Show right here on Mam Online. Today we are discussing marriage. We discussed marriage the last time, and today we are continuing with marriage. And we are starting from the importance. We say Alhamdulillah for the gift of life. But before Malam Maria take us through, let's go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Wallahi, al-Jannah Firdaus is our limit, inshallah. Amen.
Malama Rashidat Abdul Mumin, Malama Rahmat Swala, Malama Mardia Mustafa, Ewo Ideal Muslim Show, Kwesiede Bia, Anopa Nondu, Ewo Mam Online, Radio and TV, Inshallah.
Wallahi, al-Jannah Firdaus is our limit, inshallah. Amen.
Assalamu alaikum once again. Don't forget to catch us live on all our social media handles, and also our official studio line says 0246 751 175 and also 0200 773 367. You can also visit our website on www.mamghonline.org. www.mamghonline.org. And we are affiliated to WhatsApp platforms like Radio Mimba GH, Bayanuddin FM in USA, Ialim Counseling Center, Salamul Muslimin Foundation GH, Ideal Muslims of MAM, MAM Dawa KTK, MAM Online page 1 to 10, MAM Online in Egypt, Libya, Germany, and Togo, Jihad Nafs, Focus of Islam, Islamic Gallery, Firm Believers of Islam, Ideal Muslims of Twase, and we are starting the program. Don't forget your host. My name is Rashida Abdul Mumin, and Malama Maridia Mustafa is here to take us through marriage, the importance of marriage. Malama Maridia, assalamu
alaikum. والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Alhamdulillah, once again for the gift of life, and we thank Allah for making us alive to meet again this Sunday. And we are also very sorry to our viewers for those being able to come for the past few weeks, like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, extremely
because
sorry.
We started the program long ago, but we couldn't continue.
Yeah.
So inshallah today we will continue with the importance of marriage, since we already started and explained what marriage is, what are some of the requirements and other things. So today we will continue with the importance, inshallah. Okay. So we can.
We discussed marriage, coming down to the requirements, and today we want to discuss marriage. Is there any importance when you get married or something?
There are a lot of importance in marriage, or marriage itself. It came for a lot of, for many reasons. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to get married. So it is a kind of worship. That is the first important, I would say. And then all the importance of marriage, they have their backings.
So
either
you are saying marriage is also a form of
it's a worship, yes, yeah. And all the other importance. This worship has its own backings from the Quran. And then the other distinct importance of marriage too, they have also their backings either from the Quran or from the Hadith. So we can say marriage, even the right marriage, is having a lot of importance, because if you look at our society today, women and men, they always like to mingle around. They like to be engaged together. But then it is marriage that brings this engagement to be halal, or it is marriage that makes this engagement to be halal, or this coming together to be halal. So marriage is very important, because the human being is instinct. It doesn't give us the desire to have a desire with our own distinct mate, as in me, a female, having a desire in you. So we will always have desire in the opposite sex. So Allah made marriage something that will make this engagement or this desire halal between both parties. So the first and foremost, the first importance I will talk about is the worship. Marriage is a what? It's a worship. Because in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Rum, verse 21, that وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَزْوَاجِكُمْ لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. That among his signs, because Allah is having a lot of signs. He created the world, and then he's saying among his signs, he created a female just the same as a male, so that, and then he brought marriage so that they can get married and then be together, and then he again installed in them mawadda and rahma. Mawadda is love and rahma is mercy. So he installed in this man and then a woman, rahmah, and then what? Love. So let's go back and then see. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that he created a woman from this thing. He created a woman in the same speech as a man. No. Yes, because when Allah created Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, and even if we don't go back to a man and a woman, they have the same speech. A man is, the speeches of a man. He's having 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth. The way. Yeah, but when I say the same speech, I don't mean the qualities or the things we see. I mean like a woman does not look like an animal or a jinn. But yes, when they say a human being, it is a man and a woman. They are in the same speech. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So let's assume Allah did not create a woman like a man. Maybe after creating Adam, instead of taking the rib of Adam and then creating a woman just like a man, he decided that, okay, let me create a woman in the form of a jinn. Or let me create a woman in the form of an angel. Like, what do you think will happen between a man and a woman? Do you think we will have any desire in them? So this one also takes us towards another importance, which is what? To preserve and continue the human race. If Allah created Adam without creating Hawa, or without using the rib of Adam to create Hawa, then they wouldn't have children. And these children wouldn't have given birth to another children, and their children wouldn't have given till we have this generation. So it is these 2 people that Allah made them got married, and then they had the halal this thing. They mated, and then they in a halal way, and they were able to give birth to children, and then their children gave birth to children, and it continued like that till they got us, or till today, and we are also his grandchildren. So marriage is having a lot of importance. Somebody can say even without getting married, someone can go and then give birth, and then still he will give birth to a human being and this thing. But then let's look at this scenario. Have you ever seen a married woman say, I'm going to abort my child? Normally it's those who have not yet married. Why? Because that child is not halal. So you see, marriage is now important here. So, one, you are not yet married, then you go and then fall into this thing, I would say an immoral act, and then at the end of the day you become pregnant, and because you are very shy, you cannot, because a child is a blessing, but because you didn't get it in a halal way, it cannot be a blessing to you, it will rather be a curse. So you are trying to run away from this shyness and curse, and then at the end of the day, people go and do abortion. Some people go ahead and then give birth, but then this child is seen in the society as, even in Hausa they call that child shege. Like, he is not this thing, he is just someone who doesn't have mother, like his mother and father are just there. Like, he was gotten in a haram way. He cannot inherit his father's property, his own father's property. Why? Because they weren't married when they gave birth to him. So he is considered as just something like that. And if you look into the society, the things that's happening, as in the social vices, armed robbery, murder, and then other things, when you try to investigate and see, you see that this child is not having a quality upbringing. As in, it can either be his parents did not get married, he was just born, and then now since everybody is on each way, the child is also on its own. So we can see that marriage is very important here. One, it is a worship, because whatever you do in marriage, you do what you gain reward. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you quarrel and then you go and then apologize, you get reward for apologizing. But quarreling, as in quarreling, there. But when you quarrel and then you take the initiative to go and then apologize and beg for forgiveness or try to settle cool things down, then it is a worship. Anything you do, someone even this thing can make him, like having sexual intercourse with your partner is also a form of worship, because a companion once came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam And then he told, like Prophet Muhammad told him, I can't remember the hadith very well, but at the end it's like Prophet Muhammad told him that when you have intercourse with your wife, then it is what? A kind of worship, and then you are being given reward for it. And then the companion said, well, also, even though I'm enjoying myself and this thing, I'll still be rewarded for that. And then he said, yes, because if you don't do it inside marriage, if you do it outside marriage, you will get sin. So it's fair that when you do it inside marriage, you also be rewarded. So this again gives us to another reason why marriage is very important, which is what? To prevent us from doing immoral acts, or to preserve our chastity. To preserve our chastity. And we can see this in Surah Nur. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Nur, let me try and see if okay. But even without looking at, you know that marriage is there to prevent one's chastity. Yeah. Because if you don't get married, and no matter what you are a human being, you have that instinct, you have that other side in you. And because Allah knows that He created you, He knows you have this side of you. That's why He made marriage halal, so that you don't fall in this category. You can then make it in a form of halal way and even get what? Reward for it. So in this way too, marriage is also what? Very, very, very important. So we can see in Surah Nur, Allah spoke about the chastity. The Surah Nur itself, when you read about it, it talks about a lot of it is just about the chastity and the chastity and how a woman should take herself, because it starts with the story of Nana Aisha when she was being slandered. Yes, when she was being slandered, how she went about it and other things. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also plays this ayah to show that chastity is a very important thing for a woman to carry. And even in our society today, we can see that chastity is very, very important, because when a woman, there are some cultures in our society that when a woman gets married, and then the first night, after the first night, I think at dawn or so, I don't know, but it is a culture. I've heard of it. They go and then they go and check the bedspread, and then they see whether that people still do it. That's why I'm saying it is a culture of some people, but because of Islam, there is nothing like that in Islam. It's not in Islam. So it's just some people's culture. But alhamdulillah, because of Islam too, a lot of people are coming into their senses and they don't do such things. As in, like going in at dawn and then like just to check and see if truly the person is a virgin or she's not a virgin and this thing. So I think sometimes these cultures are good. Like, because if you look at it at first, because they used to do that a lot, even the woman is shy. Unless, yes, it makes the woman very shy to do that. But because now nobody comes to check, everybody is on his own, okay. So, like, you see, even the night of or the day before a woman gets married, she can go, and then it even happened in our community. A lady, you are about to get married, just this big thing, like it you cannot even imagine it. But then she went, because she's having someone she's already dating, and then she went and then she allowed him to take advantage of her. But then after the marriage, I think 5 months or so, she became pregnant. So the husband was like, she delivered. It's not she became 5 months. So the parents of the husband were like, for this child, we cannot accept him, because 5 months. If it was to be 7 months, we would say at least, but 5 months. So she came back, and as I'm talking to you now she's at home. She cannot go back to the husband, even though the husband had forgiven her that she can come back, but she cannot go because she's feeling very shy, and she has become a pointing hand on her in the society, because the kid is there with you. You are now there. You are just roaming around, even though you are a married person. I can't say maybe the husband divorced her, but we didn't hear anything of that. We only heard he told you, go and give birth and come back. But then because of shyness, she cannot go back. So to prevent this, why not wait? You could have just waited. Then you go to your husband and then do the rightful thing in a halal way and give birth to your child halal.
It's not like you didn't know you're getting married.
You knew it, even it was the same night. So
very bad.
So marriage is very, very important when it comes to preventing or preserving our chastity or preventing us from getting into immoral activities and other things. Okay. And then another importance of marriage I'll talk about is it's help us attain psychological, emotional, and then spiritual companion. Psychological. No matter who you are, like when you sit, you think you have psychologically. You think of a lot of things, and among your thinking is these things. And today too, when you look, because of the things we normally watch, we have that psychology, and that is what is making immorality so viral today. Today you see in this school you hear this thing has happened. This one is saying this is saying that. So this psychological thinking, if you have a companion or a partner, like you are legally married, this psychological thinking, he can help you even apart from just this kind of thinking. Anything you have in mind, because we are humans and we have a lot of things in mind. Sometimes you'll be stressed and then you are thinking of a way out, but you don't have anyone to tell your problem to or anyone that will help you look for a solution to your problem. But then if you have a companion, you can share with him, so that if he is having a way out or he's having something, an advice to give you, he can give it to you, so that you look forward to the next thing. And then emotionally too, like when for this one day, let me talk about women. We are very, 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 very emotional, and anything small, our emotions just, if it is happiness, we normally we are happy more than. And if it is sadness too, we will be sad and cry for this thing. So in a situation like this too, you need someone to, if it is you are sad and maybe you need someone to pamper you. Yeah. If you are happy too, you need someone to share your happiness with. So instead of sharing it with the wrong person, it's good you have a companion. Okay. Then you share your happiness and then sadness, your burdens and everything with the person, so that he will help you out. And then again, I said what? Spiritually, I already told you, marriage is worship. So whatever you do spiritually, whatever you do in marriage is what you get a double. You are fasting, your husband maybe enough fasting. Maybe you are doing it spiritually to elevate your spirituality. But the husband comes and tells you, I don't want you to do this fasting, sunnah fasting. Break this fast. You break it. It's a worship. You will still get your reward. And then also yes. I said sunnah fasting. No, I didn't say the Ramadan fasting. Like Monday, Thursday, and other 3 days, and this and those sunnah fasting. And then again, like being submissive. Everybody wants to be the boss of his own. But then marriage is telling you have to be submissive to your husband, because your Jannah is under his feet and other things. So you will have this thing. If you really get married and then you really want to attain, okay, I have completed half of my deen, let me try and then complete the other half. Submissive to your husband. You try to cool down your pride, and then you elevate what? Your spirituality. Okay. Yeah. So again, the last importance I want to talk about, but there are a lot of importance, but I just want to talk about these few ones. The last one is for enjoyment. Marriage is for enjoyment. This worldly life is we are doing this worldly life just for enjoyment, or I'll say, although we are worshiping, but it's for enjoyment and this thing. Because there is a hadith whereby Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-As reports that the Prophet ﷺ said, "The worldly life is an enjoyment, and the best of this enjoyment is having what a righteous wife." So women, this one it goes back to women. We have to be what righteous, like righteous as in you don't you are not abusive, you are not that giddy type. When your husband say A, you will continue from B to Z. Like submissive. You should be submissive to him, and then I don't know, make him feel like he is also the boss because your Jannah is under him. Try and then attain your Jannah in ease, not in giddy, because you cannot take it in giddy. Everybody wants to live peacefully and then in harmonious way. Yeah. So we have to, women, we have to also work on this side of us before we enter into the institution of marriage. It's very, very important.
Before we move on to my next question for Malama Maridia, let's go to Facebook. Humble Lion is watching us live right here on Mama Line. He is saying Masha Allah. And Nuruddin Saim also says, "Great job, keep it up." Sure, we are going to keep it up and even do more, inshallah. Jack Jacob also says, "Masha Allah." Humble Lion is back here saying, "Masha Allah." Thank you all for streaming live. Continue to watch us live here right here on Mama Line. Tell others to join us. The discussion is getting interesting. Okay, so Malama Maridia, we've spoken about the importance of marriage. I think everything that has merit has its demerit.
Yes.
So is there any disadvantage?
Okay. Marriage as it is, marriage on its own have no, I will not say it has no, but it has a little or very, very little disadvantage. And this disadvantage again goes back to us. Those in it. Marriage as its own. What marriage entails have no disadvantage. But you, the couples, you may have a disadvantage when you go into it. How is now we are talking about you, the woman, your preparation before the marriage. One is choosing the wrong person. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has told us some of the qualities you look in a person before you choose that person as your partner. Then because of some worldly desire, maybe because of wealth, because you've seen money, you've seen a car, because you've heard he's having this and that,
because
he's handsome, then you just rush in, and then you get married without doing any istihara, just without taking your time, and also during the marriage you do all sorts of haram things before entering the marriage. Then there will be a lot of disadvantage in that marriage, because you will not, no matter what your expectation is before marriage, if it doesn't link to Allah, you will never have happiness or peace in that marriage, because nobody guaranteed you that his wealth will be there forever. Nobody guaranteed you that maybe after your marriage something will happen to his face and then his handsome face will damage or become something. Nobody guaranteed to you that the car he is having, it will not maybe get into an accident and then spoil, and then he will be at home without a car. So the worldly benefits you were looking up to before getting into that union, it's at any point in time that thing can vanish, or it can spoil. If it is worldly benefit, yes, you can lose it. So if your mentality of marriage is for worldly benefit, then there will be a lot of disadvantage. And one is marrying the wrong person. Marrying the wrong person, as in what I just said. You don't look at the qualities, and then you marry someone, maybe you think he is rich, he's handsome, then at the end of the day you become a punching bag. You become a punching bag in his house. So you will just be frustrated, disadvantaged. You see, you think, I wish I didn't get, I wish this. Then at the end of the day, what become divorce? So one disadvantage. Another disadvantage. There are a lot of disadvantages too, but it also depends on still the mentality of
how you
Yes.
managed to get in that marriage.
Yes, the mentality. Always, when you're about to get into something like this, since it is a worship, let it link to Allah. Don't get married for any worldly benefits, because no matter a human being, no matter what, your partner is a human being, and he cannot provide anything for you. He cannot suffice you. Whatever, you are the only person, or it is only Allah who can give you something to make you like happy, satisfied. So you have to look up to Allah in whatever you are going to do. You are going to get married. Okay, this man has come. He's having a very good character. When you come to the deen, perfect. Even if I'm not saying like he knows the full Quran, maybe he's a Hafiz or something. No, at least the little he knows, he's putting it in practice. Yeah. He fears Allah. He knows this thing there, I shouldn't do it, and this thing. So, but then you go and see someone. I don't want to mention names, but okay, someone contrary to that, and then you just go and then put yourself because he's having some. At the end of the day, you have regrets, and the regret is also a disadvantage. Maybe because of his handsome face, and then after the marriage you were frying egg and then some hot oil on his cheek, and then his cheek spoils. You see yourself, you having a regret. As if you should leave the marriage and go, but again, and then if you have high expectations, okay, I'm getting this married, this man is rich, when I get married he will buy me a car. Oh, he will take my mother to Hajj. He will take me to Hajj. He will take me to Dubai to do shopping and this thing. Then just after the marriage, something happens at his workplace, and then the money, everything is gone. What do you think will happen? All your expectations have been shattered. So the reason why you got married, everything is now gone. So you will just be there again, regrets. You see. So
we shouldn't get married because we want worldly things and all that. It should be based on what Allah is saying we should do.
It should be based on worship. I'm completing half of my deen, so I'm doing this to attain the mercy and then happiness of Allah, to attain Jannah, to get my Jannah. Then you are going.
How is the marriage rite supposed to be performed in Islam?
Marriage rites. Marriage rights is is rather very unfortunate that today what we see in our community is, because what Prophet Muhammad told us, that he said a nikah should be very simple. Simple. Okay. Very simple. As in mutual consent. The husband and the wife, or the fiancé and the fiancée, you agree to get married to each other. You go to the house, you tell your parents, they've agreed, you've gotten wali, the walis have agreed and blessed the marriage. You go to the masjid, the nikah is done, the dowry is being paid, the meher is done. Then walima, the walima should just be food and drinks, so that it will be shared to people, for them to testify that, okay, this woman or this person is now married. Just to testify. But then today, what do? We do likewise. What we do today is so it should be just as simple as this, and that is what.
So can you go on with the process one after the other?
Okay, the process is, let's assume
mutual understanding,
mutual agreement, mutual consent. Yes, the two of you should agree that okay, we want to get married. Then the man will bring his people to your parents. They will ask in front of you if you really agree. Then you agree with your wali. Wali is like someone who will testify there and then that the bride has agreed. So the wali will be there. He will be there. Mostly it's your uncle or your elder brother. If your uncle is not the but mostly it's two of your uncles.
Okay.
So they will be there with your father, and then they will ask you, and then you've really agreed. Okay, they will set dates for the nikah. Compatibility should come, like this checkup and other things we do today. You can do it because it's very important. And in these days, to me, I strongly believe you have to do it, because a lot of things are happening. Today, tomorrow, you just see here somebody's having HIV AIDS and this thing. So this one, it is marriage. Maybe you, the woman, you are chaste, and then you hold yourself that it is after marriage that you, but then because of someone or because of just a little mistake, without doing the checkup and other things, you end up getting this sickness. And then also to avoid something like the sickle cell and then other things, it's also very good we do these checkups. It's very good to know your compatibilities and other things. So you do all these things, then you set your date for the nikah, and the nikah is mostly done in the mosque with the malams like tying the knots for the wedding. So they come and they recite some verses in the Quran, talk to you, and then the man will present the dowry or meher, the meher to you, and then the meher is normally given to you. It should be given to you, the bride. It's for you, and you are the one who will give him the price you want to give. You want him to give it to you. So if it's
even a mansion,
if he can provide, then you are. If he can provide, but you the wife, you have to look at him, and then you know the kind of husband you are getting married. So you see his situation. If he can provide even a car for you, okay, my husband, I want a car. If he can provide, he will provide.
If you know he can't provide that, don't
yes, because you can see that during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ali wasn't rich. But when Prophet Muhammad presented him with Fatima to get married, he told him he didn't have anything. And then he went and saw something. He just brought her a ring, but she accepted it, even though look at your level of iman. She accepts. So it's the same. If you know your husband is very rich, he can provide, even taking you to Hajj. You can say, okay, my meher is from this day of my marriage. I want to go to Hajj.
Okay.
And that's also.
All right. So, is this generation we are in, are we performing the obliged marriage rites, or we are not doing that?
The people are okay. I don't know even how to say it, but some people are performing it, some people are not performing it. The majority, if we say oblige this thing, maybe some of it everyone performs, but then after that we do extra things which are highly negative.
We know the things that we do which is not supposed to be
There are a
done.
lot. Something like, now let me take this thing, Lefe. I don't know whether you know Lefe. Yes, that thing, the things they bring. People has made it
So Lefe is now also part
Islamic. You see, people have made it at something part of the religion, but it is never part of the religion. Yes, it is only the dowry. Lefe is, they said it is the culture of the Hausa people, and then people have put it in the religion. So if someone is getting married, everybody is interested in, yes, is interested in seeing the kind of lefe the person, which is very, very wrong. And then sometimes you have to consider women, like, it is, I don't know how the kind of mentality we are having. You'll be there, you are praying to Allah to grant your husband to get married, because we see women, we are many, and the men are few. So everybody is praying, oh, grant me to get a husband. But then you are sitting there again waiting for lefe. Who told you that the man you are going to get is having that money to provide that lefe for you?
And even with the lefe, they will complain.
Oh,
He didn't bring this.
he didn't bring. Oh, he brought only 1 bag. I wanted 3 bags. My friend was having 4 bags, so at least I should have 3 bags, which is very, very wrong. It is very, very wrong, because 1, the thing is not Islamic. 2, it is someone's culture, and the thing is, it is even israf. When I say israf, like wastage, because the things they will bring, you cannot wear it throughout. Will you wear it?
No.
They will just keep it. Again, I'm going to somebody's wedding, then they will pick it, and then, so why not just stop? Let him bring the money home. You use it to do something
better,
which is very, very important to you. But then you let them stretch himself and do all these things. Then at the end of the day, you come home, you keep it in the wardrobe, and then you start paying debt with the things you've not yet used. Because sometimes the man will go in debt just to get these things and So you see all these
Not
things.
necessary.
The other thing is the parties we do where we mingle with both women and they didn't tell. Walima is like enjoying yourself. Women alone, you can gather in a closed place where no man will see you, enjoy yourself and this thing. But then you open place, there are men and women. Then you come.
Dancing
The unfortunate thing is sometimes I pity those husbands. Your wife, they are bringing your wife to you, but then she will go. Although you are already married, because the moment they tie the knot, she is your wife.
Okay.
But then you will still allow her. She'll go and then dance and shake her body to all the men around. Everybody has seen her shaking her body, and she's not bringing it. Don't you see? Like she has become inferior
Okay.
because you something which is supposed to belong to you personally she has shown all her moves to other people. So we have to, at least women, we have to have this kind of shyness to ourselves so that we will prevent all this, because I would say women, we are expensive. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said women are pearls. Women, he gave us a lot of this. Women are pearls, women are diamonds. So if you are a pearl, should you be doing this? You are just being like a stone which can be seen everywhere. So we have to have that thing in us, like
Have to hold our
shyness and
dignities.
holding
Okay,
our
the
dignity.
discussion is marriage and women with me, your host Rashida Abdul Mumin, and Malam Mustafa is the one taking us through that topic. Don't forget to catch us live. The discussion is still ongoing. We are not done. You can catch us live on all our social media platforms and enjoy the discussion right here on Mama Live. Okay, so is it obligatory for each and everyone to marry when you get to the stage of getting married?
For marriage, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I cannot say it's obligatory because Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that Anika means sunnati, from Arabic sunnati falisami, that marriage is part of my sunnah, the traditions of Prophet Muhammad, and whoever hates my sunnah is not part of me.
Okay.
This hate does not mean you don't get married or when you reach your time, because there are some people Allah has not decreed that they get married. Somebody can die young, somebody can still grow and get old, but then nobody is coming to him, maybe due to certain things and other things. We've seen a lot. Somebody is old, she has never. But what we are saying is, if the Prophet ﷺ says, if a man with good character and iman comes to seek for your daughter's hand in marriage and he is denied, then is it misfortune or havoc? Like we are creating way for havoc or like a problem, a very big situation. And it is true. You see, today instead of getting married, women, we don't get married. Like, I'm not ready. I'm not yet ready.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still young. But then tomorrow, I want to go to school. I want to do this. I want to do that. But then the next few days, you see the person there.
I want to chop life. When she gets married, she wouldn't get the chance
to chop life.
Okay.
In chopping life, what happens? The person will come pregnant. The person will come abortion, because that is the havoc the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, because you refused marriage, and what did you go? You went and entered into immorality. You broke your chastity. You've now gotten pregnant, and then you are killing a human being. Abortion. You see, step by step, you are just calling the wrath of Allah to you. So if you reach the age of marriage, unless you have a very, very good reason, tangible reason, before you can say no or this thing. But then people, I want to chop life. The person will hit 40. Yeah. Then now we will go to this Malam, please pray for me. Even if he's having 3 wives, I will manage. You see. But then, when you were in your youthful age, you could have just gotten married. And this chop life, what is the chopping of life? Is it? I don't understand. What's the chopping of life?
I say maybe the way she wants to dress when she gets married.
Why not dress it to your husband? But he's also a human being.
But people want to enjoy life with friends and all that. You understand?
It's not easy. But even modestly, you can dress modestly after marriage. You seek your husband's permission. You go out and then
this dressing, this era, we Muslims don't dress the way we are supposed
Yeah,
to dress.
yeah, that's
So,
one is very
you
true.
know, when you get married, it's going to change. You wouldn't get that chance to be dressing that way. As a married woman, you shouldn't be wearing jeans. You
And
shouldn't
other
be
things, okay.
So she will think she has to live that kind of life before she gets married.
But still, you are sinning against Allah because Prophet Muhammad said you shouldn't imitate. You shouldn't be like men. And then trouser, we know for trouser, dear, when you see trouser, you know it is from a man.
Yeah.
And you are a woman, you go and put on a trouser. You are imitating a man. And this imitation, I forgot to speak about it when you talk about this era. How we perform how we do our marriage rites and other things. Like the imitation is now going into deep. We are imitating the Westerns without even knowing. Now, you know, now at first, women just wear this lace, kaba and slit and other things for their wedding. But today, what do? People wear wedding gown.
Yeah.
Yes, wedding gown. They even have bridesmaid and other things.
Nice.
So, by and by, we are imitating. So, I tell you, maybe 10 years to come or 5 years to come, even ours will be more than the Christians if we are still going to be doing this.
Even now, we are doing
More
more than
because the good thing is what I always thank Allah for is sometimes when they start with something, then the malams will preach against it, then they will stop. Like this is a shower, bridal shower. So if you are getting married this week, maybe on Thursday, if you are someone who dress anyhow, they will tell you to dress that way for the last. They will say for the last. When I was in Accra, that is what they used to say.
I've not even heard about it.
It came in Accra, and then the malams, they spoke, and they lambasted it before they stopped. You will see someone who is getting married, just this thing, and this for the last two. It's also part as in for the last. So you go and do whatever you want for the last. So all your boyfriends or the other guys, you go and then for the last, and that is what is bringing this. You go to marriage, and then someone is already pregnant, and then all these things. All this in the case of for the last. But alhamdulillah, they've spoken about it, and then but this imitation, we have to be very, very careful because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew that it will reach a time people will imitate these believers, that he warned so much about it, that even reading Quran, some people when they are reading Quran, they do their head like this. Like this. You've seen the sound before.
Yeah.
But Prophet Muhammad said we shouldn't do that because the Jewish, when they are also doing their praises, even the Christians, is when the pastor is preaching, he's doing this. So you should just be steady and read your Quran. You shouldn't be shaking your head like this. Just reciting. Yeah, acts of worship or reciting Quran. Then now look what we are doing. Even I heard this thing, when you want to tie your hair, you know, women sometimes they tie it this side. That is not good. You shouldn't tie it this way because the Jewish sometimes they tie their hair like this.
Oh, okay.
Even this is not accepted. Then you go and then, because when you say wedding gown, everybody knows for wedding gown, dear, it's for Christians.
Yes.
But today Muslims have taken over.
We are wearing them.
We are wearing them.
The
and
discussion is marriage and women. If you couldn't catch us live next week, don't forget to catch us live because we are ending the discussion. Time is not on our side. And next week, inshallah, we'll be here with a different topic. Today we are done with marriage. I really enjoyed. So Malam Maridia is going to wrap up for us before we leave. Malam Maridia,
okay.
your final words.
Okay, then today, our topic from last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks, and then today was the marriage, meaning preparation. So inshallah, next week we will continue with marriage, but the marriage in particular, inside the marriage, what a woman you are supposed to do, and then other things, and then
that one is also a different aspect.
Yes, aspects of marriage. So this one is preparation, and then the next one is what you do inside. So inshallah.
So now we've gotten married. Next week, inshallah, we're
going to
learn what we are supposed to do
in the marriage. Inshallah. Okay, so what I would like to say is I've said a lot, and then I pray to Allah to forgive me for wherever I may have for something I may have said which is wrong, and then He should make what I said which is right stay on whoever is listening to me, and then also whatever I said which is wrong, He should also delete it from their memory. And then I pray Allah grant us all spouses, who are what the coolness of our eyes, and that who will help us attain our Jannah.
Sure.
And then I also pray all of us marry with the intention of doing this to attain the
Jannah.
love of Allah. I'm doing this to attain Jannah. I'm not
for
doing
mansions,
for not
cars,
for any beauty or
yeah.
yeah. So I pray Allah give us this level of iman so that we do this thing for His own purpose, only for His purpose. So inshallah, I'd like to end here. If you have any question, you can put it on board. Maybe next
so
week when we come,
answer
inshallah, we'll try our best and then answer your question, inshallah. So,
Sure.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Today we are done with the discussion, and it's never too late. Next week we've gotten married today, so next week we are going to learn what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do in our marriage or in our matrimonial homes. Kubra Samet says, Amin Summa Amin. Masha Allah. Thank you all for joining us live right here on Mama Line. The program is Ideal Muslim Show. I am your host, Rashida Abdul Mumin, and Malama Maridia took us through the topic. I have some comments here I have to read them. Jack Jacob says, I'm really enjoying this program. May Allah forgive us all. Amin. And Mahmoud Liman Ibrahim. Sorry if I didn't mention your name well. He says, Mashhood Limam Ibrahim says, nice job.
Advise
your sisters.
Yes,
we are advising our sisters, inshallah, and even advising ourselves. Yes. Thank you all for joining us live. I can't see this number. Confidence K Bar says, Masha Allah. Ali Usekina says, yes, yes. Yes, we are learning. Kubra Samet says, Amiso Ma'amin. Yes, I think I read that. And Zongo Haruna Zanga, okay, also says, Masha Allah. Thank you all for joining us live right here on Mama Line. The program was Ideal Muslim Show, and we discussed marriage this week. Next week we'll continue with that, and that's when we are going to learn what we are supposed to do in marriage. I think I have a new one here. The Bronx father says, great job. Most of our Muslim sisters go into marriage without notifying the importance of marriage. Yes, it's true. Today I think we've all learned a lot. Even myself, I've learned a lot, and inshallah very soon we pray we all get the right spouses. We'll get married soon, inshallah. We want to get the blessings of Allah. So thank you all for joining us live. Wassalam. Enjoy the rest of our programs.
Malama Rashidat Abdul Mumin, Malama Rahmat Swala, Malama Mardia Mustafa, Ewo Ideal Muslim Show, Kwesiada Bia, Anopa Nondu, Ewo Mam Online, Radio and TV, Inshallah.